Welcome back to Pod Dives. Today we are looking at one of the most powerful tutors in the game. We're setting sail with the queen of evil dragons herself, Tiamat, Dragon God. Tiamat is a colossal 7-mana legendary creature demanding one of every color plus another 2 colorless. But all these colors combined are one of the reasons you play her. She is the dragon creature type, one of the most famous tribals in Magic, focused on huge flying threats, and one of the main reasons that you'll be running her. She also has the god subtype, which doesn't have much impact in terms of tribal cards or synergy. Tiamat is a 7/7 with flying, but we're not looking for commander damage as a win con here, but her ability, which is when you cast Tiamat, you search your library for up to 5 dragon cards with different names and put them right into your hand. This is the most crucial rule to understand with Tiamat, is she requires casting. This means you cannot pull her out of the graveyard, and you cannot blink her with cards like Cloud Shift or Ghostly Flicker to get 5 new dragons. The designers intentionally added the if you cast clause to prevent easy game-winning infinite loops. The entire strategy at Tiamat decks is to ramp to 7 mana to ensure you can cast her, load your hand, and set up your win. This deck, while competitive, is heavily flavored around the Dungeons & Dragons universe and Magic the Gathering. We run creatures that trigger the venture into the dungeon mechanic, which is our unique way to generate utility. Dungeons are cards from outside the game that you move through room by room, triggering beneficial effects like scrying, drawing cards, or creating treasure tokens. The goal is simple: consistently venture into the dungeon to gain small, repeatable advantages. Starting with utility creatures, we split them up into 2 camps. Valued creatures like Secura Tribe Elder help us ramp out Tiamat quickly. Then we have a ton of dungeon-triggering creatures like Wandering Troubadour or Triumphant Adventurer, which are here to trigger our dungeon runs. The key is to run enough of them to constantly progress through dungeons like Dungeon of the Mad Mage for maximum value. One of the advantages of dungeon venturing is the versatility it provides. Instead of playing a creature that scries or just gains you life, the dungeon triggers, allowing you to choose what room benefits you at that moment. Next, we have our game-winning creatures. This is where playing Tiamat pays off. We tutor for large dragons that have ramp or resilience, like Cloth and Even Death Draco Lich. This section also includes sticky board threats like Storvald, Frost Giant Jarl. We run a single planeswalker, Eliwick, for dungeon venturing or digging for a creature. Now for instants and sorceries. Card draw and ramp are crucial when running Tiamat. We not only need to ramp up to 7 mana, but we need to find one of each color. To ensure we can hit that 7 mana for Tiamat quickly, we run cards like Cultivate and 3 Visits. Additionally, we're also looking for removal as the game progresses. We are running value removal like Path to Exile and Swords to Plowshares to deal with any outside threats during combat. Artifact-wise, we are running multiple 5-color mana rock staples and dungeon venturing pieces to help us find those little advantages throughout the game. Enchantments are primarily based around card draw, dungeons, and legendary creatures. Land-wise, this deck runs 37 lands of every color. A majority are a combination of shock lands or guild gates, with the primary utility land being Dungeon Descent. If you check the official Wizards of the Coast Game Changers list for Commander, you won't find specific cards from this deck. That's because our Game Changer isn't a single spell, it's a powerful engine that creates constant advantage. That engine is combined of 2 things: the venture into a dungeon mechanic, which allows us to consistently find small advantages and establish sustainability, or to ramp out Tiamat for her 5 dragon tutor ability, the other part of the engine. In using the venture into a dungeon mechanic, we have primarily found the Dungeon of the Mad Mage to be the most resourceful out of all dungeons available. It allows for constant scrying to smooth out your draws, treasure token creation to fill in the colors for Tiamat that you have not drawn yet, and a powerful finale that allows you to draw cards and cast one for free. Constantly progressing through Dungeon of the Mad Mage with cards like Wandering Troubadour ensures we generate repeatable mana, help find answer to threats, and give ourselves lots of card advantage, while keeping the table in our favor until Tiamat hits the board. While there are no 2-card infinite combos, the value dungeon venturing provides is consistent throughout the game. You won't need to dig for specific cards to combo off, you just play dungeon-based cards as they arrive, choosing the most beneficial room for you at that moment in time, until Tiamat can be called upon to call her Dragon Horde and really pressure the table. While this episode didn't exactly go over a Game Changer list or combos, we did break down a multi-card engine that acts as a game-winning system for Tiamat. Our Tiamat deck has an excellent 40% win rate for the pod. While this may seem low, we know that any win rate of below 50% is the expected norm for 4-player Commander games. What's impressive is how she wins. We've seen her win by both tutoring her dragons for board pressure and by taking games without ever casting Tiamat. This proves the dungeon mechanic is a legitimate, consistent win path. Now let's look at the online Tiamat Commander landscape. Tiamat is often billed as a bracket 4 or 5 high-powered or competitive EDH deck, but those decks look very different from our flavorful build. Here are the 3 key differences. Difference 1. Powerful 5-card staples. Because Tiamat grants us access to all 5 colors, online decks load up on the most powerful options each color has to offer. You'll consistently see expensive, game-warping staples like Rhystic Study, Necropotence, and Thassa's Oracle. I'd say the world is open for you on what you feel like playing versus what you might already own, as many of the options people run are pricey. Difference 2. Engine swap. Our deck's core is a powerful D&D flavored engine, dungeon venturing for small systematic advantages combined with Tiamat's guaranteed 5-dragon tutor. Other decks online base the core of their entire deck around the powerful 5-color staples mentioned above, relying on them for card advantage, ramp, and interaction rather than investing into flavorful D&D cards. They sacrifice flavor for efficiency. Difference 3. Dragons Tutored. While our deck runs fantastic dragons like Cloth Unrivaled Ancient, competitive lists focus on specific dragons that unlock immediate infinite wins. Additionally, with Dragon Tutoring, there are deadly combos to be had, such as Mirim Sentinel Worm and Bladewing the Risen. By having Mirin and Bladewing on the field, the deck creates an infinite loop of dragons entering the battlefield, which, when combined with cards like Terror of the Peaks, results in instant devastating damage to the entire table. This comparison shows our deck trades the speed and budget for high-powered decks for consistency, resilience, and unique D&D flavor. Our Tiamat is powerful, but she's meant to have fun with dragons, not just win in 5 turns. What do you think of dungeoning to find Tiamat? Which method do you prefer? Let us know in the comments and drop an anchor and follow for more.